Hello, this is the Roach. Yeah, I'm back. I'm just watching the sunset through my window in my brand new farmhouse that I made while I was waiting for slimes to spawn. Oh, and there's a drown hanging out there. Well, we'll go ahead and go to bed and see if that drown burns up in the morning. Anyway, let's see. We'll go to bed. So I've been out here for a couple of days and a couple of nights. I actually stayed up for 2 full nights, and one of them was a full moon. I don't think that matters. I know it matters in the swamps, but I don't think it matters with the deal that we're doing. Yeah, that drown did die. It had a fishing pole, but it didn't drop it. That's too bad. I like it when the drowns drop fishing poles and tridents, because I like to get them, but they don't drop them all the time. They do drop them occasionally. They also occasionally drop a sponge. Got a couple of sponges from it. Okay, so what I did while I was waiting for the slimes to spawn is I built this nice little farmhouse. And I think it turned out fairly good. I'm not so sure I like the log going up that high into there. I think maybe I ought to switch that out with oak plank. But yeah, but everything else seems to. So yeah, that's dark oak, the logs there. The bottom foundation rise. So this is just the rise on the foundation. That is made out of black concrete. And inside here, you can notice we have gray floors. These are light gray floors, light gray concrete. So our foundation was light gray concrete, and then we finished off the top of it with black concrete as kind of a base there. We did dark oak around. We have oak doors. We have our glass all in. I love the fantasy texture pack. It just looks really cool with whatever you do. And then over here, of course, we got to build up so that it goes up. I'm still thinking that maybe that. No, I kind of like that. You know what? I think I do like that. I think I'm gonna leave it. Yeah, we're gonna leave it. So see, and the foundation does go all the way down to hold up the house, because we built right here on this cliff, and so we need foundation that drops down all the way. Now see, eventually you could do a remodel on this house, and you could put a nice porch out here, wraps around, and creates not just a porch, but a porch and balcony. See, that goes out, and you can look over the top of the water over there, over that dark forest over on that side. It's quite a nice house, but I like it. So, yeah, I built that nice little house. I also built this pen for my animals. Put my chickens in there, my sheep in there, and then I found a cow wandering around. I threw him over there, and then I put the pig right here. So now we got all of our animals all sorted. I was hoping to find another pig, and I looked, but I couldn't find one. And I only found the one cow, too. I didn't look much more for another cow, but I did only find one cow. So these pillars right here, I told you about those. Those just mark how far away I need to be in order to get the slimes to spawn. Well, now we are ready to go check and see if we got any slimes spawned. So I'm going to just put a few things away in the chest here in the house. So we do not need a door. Oh, wrong one. Okay, we can take the shovel. There's no problem with that. So I don't need the light gray concrete. I don't need the cobblestone. I don't need the obsidian. I was thinking about making a portal and going to the nether, but I don't think there's really any need or purpose for me to go to the nether. I'm going to put my glass in here. I actually had to go back and steal that, so I did actually go back over towards it. I did not go down to it, so I still don't know for sure if we spawned any slimes, but we will be finding out. Let's throw the bow up there. We don't really need it. We don't have any arrows, so it's not going to do us any good. Alright, so let's put down that we're going to use our sword to kill most of the guys, whatever slimes we find. So let's go see if we have some slime balls. We need some slime balls. The slime balls that we're looking for, and the reason that I'm trying to get me some slime balls, is so that I can make sticky pistons, because I'm going to need sticky pistons to make the door that I want to make in order to make the secret. It's not going to be very secret, but it is going to be it's supposed to be a secret entrance to that. So right now, the entrance to get down to my domicile is just in here. You go down through the water, and it's an alright entrance. It's fairly cool. But what I want to do is I want to make a secret entrance that maybe even is somewhere up into the woods. And it might even be up in the woods. It might also be down over here. I'm fairly certain it's going to be in this direction, so it could be somewhere right up in here, could be up in the woods there. It looks like we got some caves or an overhang right here, but maybe it would be cool to have a nice little fishing pond right here and have the entrance go down through the bottom of the fishing pond, something like that, you know. So we want to make a cool little entrance, and in order to do that, we're going to need some sticky pistons. And in order to get sticky pistons, we have to have slimes to create the stick on the sticky piston. And so let's see if we got any to spawn. Listen carefully. Hear any slimes? Alright, we're going in. Huh. We don't have any in the top floor. This is not looking good. So these should all be slime chunks, and we should have enough room, and the light shouldn't bother them. So I'm going through here. I'm still not seeing any. This is the second floor. We'll run through. And we're running out of food fast. I know beetroot takes a while, but we'll eat beetroot anyway to get our health back up, because I had a whole bunch of extra beetroot and I just didn't know what else to do with it. I could have fed it to the pigs too. The pigs seem to like it. But I only have one pig, so he doesn't eat that much. And yeah, so anyway, I'm still not seeing any slimes. I don't think any spawned, which means that we're going to have to go back to the drawing board a little bit on this one. So I think my slime spawner is pretty cool, but if we're not getting any slimes to spawn, we're going to have to redo it. And I think what we might do is, one, I think we're going to start using jack-o'-lanterns instead of... Okay, so I passed one, and I don't think it was that one. I think it was this one right here. Okay. I think what we're going to do is, instead of using lights like this, I think we're going to use jack-o'-lanterns. That means that I'm probably going to have to move at least the bottom floor, or the bottom floor ceiling, or the bottom, yeah. Anyway, the one that's only 3 high, I think we're going to have to move that one. I think we're going to move that one and the others so that the 3 bottom layers are only 3 high, and then we'll have to revisit. We'll have to try and figure out why we're not spawning. I'm thinking we're going to put jack-o'-lanterns in these floors. This floor is going to come up. These lights are all going to go away. I'm going to put jack-o'-lanterns in this floor, and that will make it the ceiling on the floor down below. And I think we're also going to reduce the amount of light a little bit. So I'm going to have to go find pumpkins. I don't know where I'm going to find pumpkins, but I'm going to have to go find pumpkins. So that means an exploration mission. And so yeah, see, none spawned. I know I was far enough away for a good amount of time, including a full moon. So we should have some spawned, and I don't see any. Not a single one anywhere in this whole place. And that is not acceptable. We should be able to spawn. That's a lot of area. All slime chunks. 3 full slime chunks. And we didn't spawn a single one. So unless, of course, I'm off of the slime chunks. But I know that it worked for another map. I went into Bastion, I made a big room in a slime chunk, and I actually got slimes to spawn in there. So I know that it has worked in the past on a different one, and that was one that I didn't, that was a map that I actually started before the experimental stuff and then had the experimental stuff turned on to it later. So I don't know what to do now for sure. I do know that I'm going to have to go find pumpkins. That's probably my next goal. It's probably what I'm going to do next, is go find pumpkins. Honestly, that's not what I wanted to do. That's not what I wanted to have to do. But I think that's what I'm going to have to do to figure out what's going on with it. There's a few other things that I could try, but really there should be some spawning there. I could take out most of the lights, if not all the lights, just to lower the light and see if lower light levels might actually help to encourage them to spawn. But from what I understand, the light level doesn't matter when you're in a spawn chunk for them. So yeah, I'm kind of at a loss as to what happened and to why I couldn't get them to spawn. But I will continue to work on it. I also, while I was figuring out what the slime chunks and thing, I went to Chunkbase, to an app on the computer, or a site on the computer, on the internet, that has different things that will help you find stuff like slime chunks. And also it helps you, it shows you where you have the potential for a dungeon to spawn. So these are the zombie skeleton spider dungeons that spawn around in different places, usually underground, sometimes close to the surface, or even somewhat partially exposed to the surface, but usually underground, often connected to a cave. They have one that actually shows these dungeons, as well as the slime chunk one that I used in order to find out for sure where these slime chunks were that I've been looking at. And I think one of the things we're going to do on this one is we're going to see about making one of those. I've got a couple of zombie ones that aren't too terribly far from where I'm at right now. I also have a skeleton one, but that one's a little bit farther away, and a spider one that's not close, but close enough. And I'm thinking about possibly going and seeing if we can find these, see if it works, basically. And if it works, then I think we're going to go and we're going to make some experience farms out of those. So the DNK, it's turning out to be one of the seeds that I have a fair bit going on, and I'm somewhat excited about actually coming and playing it. So this might be one that I keep working on, and I keep building on, and I keep doing stuff with. Bastion, of course, will also be one that I will keep doing things with. Sorry, there's just a few holes and things around here that are starting to bother me, and I want to fill them so that they don't, it just doesn't look quite right to have these holes and things that don't really. Anyway, I'm just kind of goofing around, and I do need to fill in that hole because I made that hole for the sheep and chickens. That's where I had my sheep and chickens, and I moved them up here, put them in their pens. So yeah, and I did breed them. So I got a black sheep baby and a white sheep baby, and they have grown up now. I could breed them again, but I would have to go get my wheat or go harvest some wheat probably, because I probably am running a little bit low. Anyway, so that's kind of the plan as to where this is going. I still need to find slimes, and I still will keep looking and checking my slime farm. On Bastion, when I did make the slime farm, I went and checked it a few other times and I wasn't able to get them, and nothing was spawning in there. But this one time there was one that actually spawned in there. So I know that it is possible to get something to spawn in there. I just haven't been able to get anything currently to spawn in there. So we're going to try and get some slimes in there. I don't know what we're gonna have to do in order to get them in there. I did have less light in the one that I had before, and I actually got some other mobs that would spawn in there, but it wasn't enough that I was too terribly concerned about that, because it was like a zombie now and then, or a skeleton or something. So I'd get a mob every now and then spawning. We're definitely on survival and we're definitely on hard, so it should be, they should be spawning, but they're just not. So, and I know I'm far enough away. In fact, I'm probably a little bit farther than I need to be away. See, because this would be about 10-15 blocks more. Because this is the, that's 24 blocks away from the side of that thing. So, if I stood right here, then I'd be 24 blocks away. And there should be able to spawn down in there, but they're not. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm looking at 10 to 15 or 10 to 17 blocks, because I think it's 7 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 10 to 17, somewhere in there for this house. And this is kind of the area that I've been spending all my time in. I've actually moved inside that perimeter a little bit on occasion, but that was just to like do the fence on the other side of there, and that still leaves a really good portion of that area that is 24 blocks away, or more. And I know that I didn't go, I may have gone a little bit more than 128 away, but not enough that it should have caused too much despawning down there. So I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure why we didn't get any spawned, but we will try and figure it out, and we will try to get it fixed, because I do need slimes, and I know that they've made it more rare for slimes to spawn, but they have to make it at least good enough that we can actually get slimes on occasion, and that's a very large area. So my chances should be really good of getting them to spawn, especially with 2-3 nights that I've been waiting. I know I stayed up for 2 full nights just in this area while building this house and getting the trails together and stuff, and I was right in this area, right close to here. I walked up around a little bit, but I stayed fairly close to here, and so I just don't see why no slime spawned. I don't know. I might have to actually go on and explain this to Microsoft and Mojang, because I think this version is still being worked on by Mojang. It's only Bedrock version that Mojang's working on, I think, because I think they're doing the Xbox One version of Bedrock Edition. I don't know for sure, but I need to probably talk to them and see why I'm not getting slimes to spawn, because I'm going to need those slimes. And I know that experimental doesn't stop it from happening, because on Bastion experimental was on when I got the slimes to spawn for mine. As you can see, the water still isn't working going through the fence. It still doesn't go through like it's supposed to, because it's supposed to flow through the fences when they get the water fixed. But we're not quite there yet. Alright, well, I will try and figure this out, and maybe next time what we'll be doing is running to find a zombie spawner, or at least going searching for pumpkins, because we're going to need some pumpkins if we're going to do jack-o'-lanterns. So this is the Roach, and I will see you next time.